being a blessing to someone else. This is Vlogmas Day number 8, and I'm on here to bring another short story from Chicken Soup from the Soul. Christmas is in the air by Amy Newmark. I hope everybody is doing good and you're being a wonderful blessing to someone else today, and however form you feel led to be in. But today I just got home. It is hot out here, even in Arizona temperature. I know it's the weather's supposed to be. A lot of y'all experiencing cold weather and stuff, but in Arizona it is sunny today. It don't last like that. I think sometimes I'll be like, God, is the weather? I know the weather ain't bipolar, is it? One minute it is hot out here, y'all. One minute you gotta take a jacket. The next one you got to take a jacket off. I'm telling you, you don't know how Arizona is. So, but most of the time it is warm and the 80s, 70s, and 80s in the wintertime. So that's a good thing, y'all, in Arizona weather. So I love it out here because of the weather. One of my many reasons I love Arizona, but because of the weather. So how's everybody doing? No one's on here yet, but you know me, I'm going to talk until I can somebody come on here. If not, I'll be talking to me and the Lord to have a conversation. So hopefully everybody having a blessed day. You're getting ready for Christmas. You got your tree up. You got what you're gonna prepare for dinner. You got some gifts wraps. You got people who you're inviting over. You might be going to see the Nutcracker or a play or Christmas concert or the Christmas pageant. I know some of y'all got a lot of plans going on for this holiday season that's coming forward. So how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Hoping for somebody to come on here. Whew, it is hot in here. I'm just sitting here and going to be reading this story in a minute. Christmas is in the air. Christmas is in the air. And sometimes I might not come on live and there might be one person, y'all. One or two people. Sometimes there's nobody when I come on here live like it is now, but I still have to come on and bring the word. Hopefully somebody will get something out of the word, be encouraged and uplifted in the word of the story, short story that I'll be reading from Christmas is in the air, Chicken Soup for the Soul. I love you guys. God bless you. How's everybody doing this afternoon, this evening? I don't know what I'm gonna read. And I turned it to fish out of water. I don't know what that is. Fish out of water. That sounds kind of a scary story. Fish out of water. Can you imagine a fish being out of water? I mean, because they can't breathe pretty soon and they end up dying if you don't put the fish back in there. So I don't know what the story is about. I had read it last year, but it's called Fish Out of Water. And it is by L.D. Stelt. L.D. Let me put my glasses on, y'all, so I can see here. It's called by L.D. Stant. I hope I said his name correctly, y'all, but Chicken Soup for the Soul. Hello, Jenny. Johnny, God bless you. How are you this evening, this afternoon, whenever you're on here? How are you doing? Whew, I just came on here and just doing my little Christmas vlogs, Christmas vlogmas, I call it. Vlogmas for Christmas. Christmas is in the air. Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I decided to come on and share another wonderful, uplifting story. And it's called Fish Out of Water. Fish Out of Water. It's y'all ready? I'm finna start. So hopefully you come on here, and if I just came from outside, it seemed like a mosquito or something bit me, y'all. I'm just red right here. Something bit me outside. I was walking outside. I just came home right now, and I had a doctor's appointment, and it's like something. I don't know what it was, but something bit me. I'm assuming it was a mosquito, but that's okay, y'all. It's supposed to be a man magnet, not a bug magnet. I don't know what it is, y'all. It says, open your presents at Christmas time, but be thankful year round for the gifts you receive, by Lorinda Root Lowen. It says, I was gathering the ingredients for my husband's favorite dessert and talking to him. I'll bake butterscotch squares while you're gone. On your way home, you'll pick up a pizza, right? I was wearing my pajamas, ready for a night at home. No response. Odd. I was sure he had been standing behind me a minute ago. I turned and immediately knew something was wrong. The gray green pallor of his skin barely had time to register when it happened. Hello, God bless you guys. He fell straight back, stiff as a soldier. I screamed and dropped my wooden spoon, and then ran to him as fast as my open back slippers would take me. I was too late. As the back of his head hit the corner of a small table, I screamed. I watched in horror as the furniture collapsed under the pressure, sending a 10-gallon aquarium crashing to the floor. Warm water rushed at my legs and feet, along with fish, fluorescent green plant, and a Davy Jones locker sign. Numb with shock, I stared at my unconscious husband. Was he dead? I couldn't lose him. His head and shoulders lay in a puddle of water on piles of shattered glass and indiscrete stones. With shaking hands, I punched in 911. Where did I live again? In the middle of stumbling through the emergency responders' questions, my husband opened his eyes. Don't move, you'll cut yourself, I cried. Baffled and confused, he was having no part of my instructions. I hung up with the dispatcher and helped him to a nearby kitchen chair. I ran my hand over the back of his big head. No swelling, no gash, no blood. Miraculous. What happened? He asked. You passed out and fell against the aquarium. An ambulance is on the way. I tried my best to comfort my husband, but he kept getting up to his feet. Save the fish. His voice was sporadic. Huh? Don't worry about the fish. No, I'm going to save them. He tried to get to his feet again. Seriously? I offered a compromise. Fine, I'll catch your fish if you promise to stay in that chair. I summoned my stern voice, excuse me, and pointed in a threatening manner. He finally backed down. As I sloshed around in ankle-deep water, dodging broken glass, the absurdity of the situation hit me. I bent over desperately trying to scoop up the flopping fish, and a thought ran through my brain. I can't believe I'm fishing in my kitchen. And at a time like this, mission accomplished. Goldie, Spot, and Sprinkles. Yes, he named them. Swam frantically around in my big yellow popcorn bowl. A plastic colander set over the top so they wouldn't jump out and make me start all over again. These were not normal sized goldfish, but fish that has been rescued from my backyard pond to save them from becoming fish sickles. My husband's own words. During the winter months. Check his blood sugar. I slouched to the cupboard, found his glucometer, and pricked his finger. Normal. I heard a whoop in the driveway, accompanied by bright red flashes on the foyer wall. 4 paramedics hurried into the kitchen with their equipment. A quick medical assessment, and our results were normal. Strange, but good. They walked him to the ambulance, assuring me he was fine. I could meet them at the local emergency room in a few minutes, but I didn't change out of my wet clothes. Instead, I waited around my kitchen in a daze. The mess was not only external, I was a mess inside. How could I possibly clean this up? To complicate things, we had no family in the area. I phoned a young couple friends from church. They assured me they would be right over. I picked up large shreds of glass and dropped them in the garbage pail. I couldn't risk Faye and Ryan getting hurt while helping. I was thankful for my rubber-soled shoes. Finally, I changed and drove myself to the hospital. My hands shook as I clutched the steering wheel. When I got to his cubicle, my husband was sitting up in bed, hooked up to a cardiac monitor. As soon as he saw me, heartfelt words tumbled over his lips. I'm sorry for putting you through this. The tender expression on his face made me want to break down and sob. At a time like this, he was worried about me. The doctor talked to us. Excuse me. All results were normal. It could have been a faint, or it was possible that his heart had just stopped beating. Fear stabbed me in the chest. Had his heart stopped beating? If so, what made it restart while he lay among the remnants of a broken fish aquarium? We were free to go home. After a simple supper of grilled cheese sandwiches, we retired to bed. The next day will be our 40th wedding anniversary. As I lay beside my husband that night, I placed my hand on his chest several times to make sure he was still breathing. The experience changed me. I felt like I'd been zapped with a reality check stick. Through it all, I saw the love of family who were ready to drop everything they were doing and come help. Our oldest son, Tim, offered to drive 2 hours in dense fog the night of the accident to be with us. Our youngest son, Daniel, was nearing the end of a military training course, and he was nearby. He arrived the next day and stayed with us until just after Christmas. His presence was a source of strength. All four children, their spouses, and seven grandchildren joined us 13 days later. It was one of the most memorable Christmas days I have ever experienced. The cause of the frightening medical episode was unknown, but what it exposed was my new knowledge. I knew without a doubt that I had received a precious Christmas gift that year. My husband was still with me, and I would go forward and cherish each day and not sweat the small stuff and love like there was no more tomorrows. LD Stored. Hello, how's everybody doing on here? God bless you. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Theo. Hello, Emmerich. Yeah, I'm just on here reading the story. Oh my God, can you imagine that on before Christmas and your spouse just fall out? You didn't know what was going on. And not only did he just fall out on the floor, he fell out over the fish tank. 10 gallons aquarium. He fell and broke it. And he was more worried about the fish than his head. And so when the wife didn't see no bumps and nothing going on with her husband, she knew that everything would be all right. But she was kind of worried. But the husband was worried about them fishes. And that's why the story was called Fish Out of Water, because he knew that he didn't get them 3 fishes back up in the water, they would end up dying because the wife was so worried about her husband, which is just normal to be worried about your husband or your family than some kind of animal. But the fish was important to this man. And so she stopped and gathered all the fish and put them back into the water to make sure they was okay. And then she went back to her husband to make sure he was okay. And so then she found out that through her family, her sons and family coming over, they were a big help and a reassurance to her during this holiday season, because she didn't know what was going on. When the doctors told her the husband was fine and everything, they wanted to make sure that he was fine by keeping watch on him. So it's so important that even if you pick up a phone, to call your family members to see if they're okay and how they doing and check on them, because we never know what's going on. And sometimes I know we have busy lives and everything, and some people you work in, you might be going to school, you might be taking care of your grandchildren, you might not just not have the time, you sick yourself, you going through stuff, but it won't hurt you just to pick up the phone and just check on your family. And so with this situation, when she found out that her husband was down, all the family came around. They was the one that was close. They came, they supported her. And that's how family should be. We should support one another, especially in a time of need and a time of trouble. You should be able to depend and support your family, be there for your family. And so that's what happened with her on that mission. Goldie was saved, Spot was saved, Sparkles was saved. Those 3 goldfishes, they were saved. So they were a fish out of water at first, but then when they got back into the water, they knew they was okay. And the same thing with her husband. When he fell to that floor, she didn't know if he had a heart attack, stroke. She didn't know what was aneurysm. She didn't know what was going on. But when she called 911 and they came and checked her husband, and she got a chance to go to the hospital, she found out that her husband was okay. And that was the biggest Christmas gift that she could receive, knowing that everything was okay with her spouse, her husband, her helpmate, her soulmate. And so I got out this story that is so important to reach out to our loved ones and just be there. And each day, just tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you care for them. And if you can, wrap your arms around them and let them know that you love your family, okay? It is so important. And some of us, our family is in another state. Pick up a phone, text, face chat, whatever you have to do just to reach that family, just to say, I was just thinking about you today, and I want you to know that I love you and I care. Hello, Zippy. How are you? God bless you today. Thank you guys for coming on. Just on here reading a short story from Chicken Soup on the Soul. This is the 8th day of Vlogmas. And so I'm on here sharing another wonderful, uplifting short story that'll encourage somebody else. Somebody on here to be encouraged. But I'm just saying, sometimes we might feel awkward. Like I haven't talked to that person in years, or they hurt me, or they what they did to me, and we hold that stuff against them. And so we don't want to pick up the phone. We don't want to try to find them. I don't want to have nothing to do with that relative. I don't want to have nothing to do with that sister, that child, that mother, that father. I don't want nothing to do with them. But you never know how God works through unforgiveness and how you could just pick up that phone. You never know if you don't pick up the phone and try. Somebody got to be the bigger man or woman and pick up that phone, because sometimes we can hold grudges, but God said in his word that if you don't forgive, I'm not going to forgive you. And so I know a lot of people are saying, well, forgiveness means that I don't have to have them in my life. I just let them go and let God. Yeah, that's true. But there are some people that you want in your life. There are some people that needs to be in your life, or your children, or your grandchildren, or your aunts, your uncle, your niece, or your nephew, or your stepchildren. They need you. And so you never know when you are needed. So just keep your door open, of your heart, and be ready to receive whoever God has for you. And whoever he says, pick up the phone and call. Or whoever he said, write that letter to. If you can't talk to him, you don't want to talk to him, write a letter. Go ahead and text. Text is easier than writing a letter. Go ahead and text them. Just tell them how much they're important to you, how much you love them, how much you miss them, and how much you care. This holiday season is so important. And you're so welcome, Zippy. How I'm doing good. Just on here doing this, and hopefully I can uplift somebody today and encourage somebody. It's a holiday season, a time of love and sharing and giving to one another. And so I'm just on here doing that. This is my part, sharing these wonderful short stories from Chicken Soup for the Soul by Amy Newmark. Again, Christmas is in the air. Ain't that something? It is almost that time of the year, y'all. That time of the year to love, to give gifts, to fellowship, to be together, and with the ones you love. It's so important. So that's the story for today, called Fish Out of Water. And also, I want to say about that statement, fish out of water. Do you know if that fish don't get water, it's going to die soon? And sometimes in a relationship too, if you don't cultivate that relationship, if you don't talk to that person, if you don't spend time with that person, some parts of that relationship can die, because y'all don't have that fellowship, that communion. You're not communicating, you're not talking, you're not spending time together. You're not, you got to cultivate a relationship. You got to spend time with that person. You got to talk to that person. You got to listen to that person. That's so important, to show love to that person. And so you can feel like a fish out of water, feel like that when you haven't talked to somebody in so long. You feel like, God, I don't know what to say or what to do. Just say hello. How you doing? God bless you. I love you. I miss you. And let the other person start saying something back to you, and you'll know which way to go. Just take a step of faith, because we all need one another these days. There's so much going on in this world today. We need one another. Amen. God didn't make us an island. He didn't make you an island. He made us to fellowship with one another. That's what it should be about. Loving one another, being there for one another, supporting one another the best way you can. encouraging one another in these last and evil days, and just being there with a smile, with a hug, with a handshake, with some encouraging words. And also, when you don't have no one to encourage you, do like David did and encourage yourself. Uplift yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Uplift yourself. Tell yourself that you're doing good. You're doing a great job. You can make it. Tell yourself that you are handsome, that you're beautiful, that you're ambitious, that you are going, you're the head and not the tail, that you're blessed coming in and blessed going out. Tell yourself that you can make it. With Christ, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Don't forget to encourage yourself today and uplift yourself and love yourself. Love on yourself. Just love on yourself and hug yourself. Give yourself some love. Give yourself that hug. If nobody else hugging you, put your arms around you. Some of y'all can do better than me because I got all this going on here. Some of y'all can hug yourself even better. Put your arms around your body and your mind, and you'll say hug yourself and know that you are loved. You are wanted. You are needed. You are special. You can make it. This too shall pass. Everything will be all right. Okay? Just know that. And I love you. Thank you guys for coming on here. I appreciate the people that have came on here for to spend this little 20 minutes with me. Sometimes I go 30. Sometimes I talk longer. It depends. Each day will be different. However the Lord lead me. And so I'm just going to get off of here by LD Story. Remember the story, fish out of water, and see how you compare to that fish. Are you that fish out of water? And how do you relate to the fish out of water? How do you relate to the story? Are you that lady? Are you that man that's in the story? Are you the fish in the story? Waiting for somebody to save you. Save yourself and ask God to save you because he's the only one that can save. There's somebody else can plant the seed, somebody else can water that seed, but only God can give the increase. Only God can deliver and set free. And you got to know that you can save yourself for whatever you're going through. It's nothing too hard for God. Just remember that. God got you. God got you. Hi, Zippy. Thank you for coming on, Zippy. And thank everybody else for coming on that didn't come on. Thanks for the people that's watching the replay. I appreciate you. You missed me, but hey, you got the message. You got what was going on over here on Sister CeCe channel. I just love you. I appreciate my subscribers. I thank God for you. I pray for you, and you keep me in prayer too. Okay, y'all come ask us for some more stories each day with another Vlogmas, another Christmas story tomorrow, if the Lord will it. God bless you, and I love you guys. Stay encouraged. Bye.